Hey guys, I know I'm looking a little bit crazy, but for today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impression on several products that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. That was my last video. I'll have it linked in the cards. It was my first time as Rouge, and there were so many products I really wanted. So I'm going to be doing 3 of these videos to test out just about everything that I hauled. So for today, I'm going to be testing several things from Rare Beauty and Natasha Denona. I will have everything listed and linked down below, and I'm really just wanting to get my ideas on the products. This is not necessarily a tutorial. I'm going to be looking in my little mirror over here, but I feel like my application never works out as well as when I'm like totally like all up in the mirror in terms of eyeshadow, but we will see. So let me show you the things that we're going to be talking about today. This is something I've had for a little while, but I haven't tried it yet. It's Rare Beauty. It is a little mini of their Always an Optimist Pore Diffusing Primer. I have tried their Glowy Primer. I also have the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. I chose this shade 14W. We'll see how the shade works for me. When I bought mine, it launched, like right before the sale, and it was not in store for me to swatch it. And next I have the Rare Beauty Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzer Stick. I purchased this in the lightest shade Power Boost and the second lightest shade Happy Soul. I'm going to be using Happy Soul today because I think this one is going to work best for me, but I'm really not sure. I've seen various people that appear to be my skin tone and undertone trying both shades, and in person Power Boost looked a little bit more orange. So I want to try Happy Soul first, see my thoughts on it, and hopefully return Power Boost brand new, but just in case, I'm going to hold on to it. For this, I am also going to do some comparisons to some other cream bronzers that I have for shade reference for you guys. And lastly, from Rare Beauty, I have this little 100-point perk of the Perfect Strokes Universal Volumizing Mascara that a lot of people have loved. I have a few mascaras open right now, but I really want to try this today too. Then the 4 things from Natasha Denona would be the Rose Glow Cheek Duo, which has a cream blush and a powder highlight. And that was released at the same time as their mini Biba eyeshadow palette, which I think I'm gonna get so much use out of. And then they released a I Need a Rose lip collection that had 3 shades, Kala, Peony, and Daphne. I got 2 of the Daphne products. Each of the shades came in a lip liner, a lipstick, and a lip gloss. I got Daphne in the lip liner, and I also got Daphne in the gloss. Samantha Marks just did a monthly makeup ranking, and she said that she didn't actually like the lipstick from here. She felt it was more drying than her I Need a Nude. So happy that I passed on it. I have the I Need a Nude shade in the Amorosa, and it was just okay for me, but I swatched these in person and the color was really pretty and the formula seemed really nice. So I hope that I love it. So I already have my brows on, I've primed, I've set my primer, as you can probably tell. So let's just jump on into the application. Starting with the Pore Primer, I'm just going to apply this everywhere. Ooh, it is a little more, that is a weird silicone jelly feel. Not as sticky as like the Milk Hydro Grip. Wow, look how red my face gets when I touch it. But not as slippery as like the original Smashbox Photo Finish. So this is something that's definitely easy to apply all over. Some pore filling primers, you really need to put them in a targeted area, but this one seems perfectly fine all over my face. And it does feel really smooth. Okay. Like the texture of that so far. So next I want to use the cream bronzer. I want to do this underneath of the tinted moisturizer, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch this next to some of the other things I have. I'm going to swatch this in the middle. So again, I have the second lightest shade Happy Soul that I'll be using today. And I'm gonna be doing these comparison swatches with you guys in real time. So here's that color. I'm gonna compare it to Dune from Persona, which I'm using currently. So Persona is a little lighter and more yellow, right? A little bit more like yellow orange. Then I haven't used this one yet, but this is the M Cosmetics So Soft bronzer, and I have the shade Summer, which is the lighter warm tone color. Here's M Cosmetics Summer. I feel like Rare Beauty is a little bit more red. It looks like this is more of a warm brown and that has a little bit of red in it. And then because we're here, I have 2 more cream bronzers, so I figured why not swatch them. I haven't used this one yet either. This is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer in Seychelles. I just got the mini. Here's that one. I feel like these all look different in person. It's like the undertone is different in all of them. I feel like Kathy be like, there's like different nuances. Then I've got the Anastasia Cream Bronzer in Sunkissed. The formula of this is nice, but the colors are just like a little off, which I feel like happens with Anastasia. Like the undertones are just a little off. And, oh, this one's gonna be the most different. Yeah. This one up here looks almost more olivey. So yeah, they're very different. I would say that Tarte Breezy is probably the most similar, but there are those cream bronzers swatched next to each other. So now just going in with the Rare Beauty. And my favorite brush for cream bronzer is the e.l.f. Small Stipple brush. I did wash the brushes I plan on using today, last night. So very proud of myself. So I like to start on the forehead because I don't want this to set. I want to be able to blend this. Okay, looks like I applied a little too much or a little too low, which I'm just using my viewfinder right now, so I'm not too okie doke. Does this look as crazy to you as it does to me? Color-wise. Yeah, girl. I don't know about this shade. Like, I feel like the product itself blended out pretty easily, but oof, I don't know that that color's for me. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, let's move right along. And of course, I will give you more finalized thoughts in a monthly makeup ranking once I'm able to try them a little bit more. Then going in with a Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer in 14W. And I'm just going to squeeze it onto the sponge because I still have this on my hand. So, squeezed out very easily. And let's see how this goes. I know that I would get more coverage with the brush, but I just always apply my products with a sponge. Okay, this might be, right now it's looking a little light. I've been doing that recently, which is weird, but we'll see if maybe it oxidizes or whatnot. Well, I'm a little bummed that it's a little light, but I'm glad that it looks like Rare Beauty has a good shade range for their products in general. And even this has a lot of shades, even though the coverage is very light. It seems like when you don't have a pretty close shade match. If it's like a little lighter, a little dark, that can kind of mess with your perception of the pigment or the coverage. I do feel like that looks all blended though, which is not always the case, even with tinted moisturizers, so that's good. I think it did just mostly even out. My complexion's not covering up any redness or blemishes. And it still looks a little light, but don't you guys feel like the product is sort of like meshed in with my skin color better? I don't know, interesting. So I'm gonna see if I can build up the coverage any. What do you guys think? Maybe a little. So that's 2 layers versus the 1. Yeah, I think that's buildable. All right, let me do 2 all over. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. It has a nice glow to it, which I'm hoping for me will like set in a little bit. But I do want to take some more of the bronzer stick because I feel like it looks a lot better right now, but I still want it to show. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush and then just re-add it to my face. I'm going to do just a touch up here. I feel like especially because I'm blonde and fair that like I want bronzer up here because I have a big forehead, but sometimes it just looks a little wild. I'm just gonna go over it a little with my sponge just to mesh it in a little bit better. I think that looks good. And y'all, it's a mess over here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with the Natasha Denona Rose Cheek Duo. I'm gonna go in with the cream blush, but let me swatch these products for you guys. So we've got cream blush and a powder highlight. Cream blush, powder highlight. Pretty. Nice like warm tone rose color. I like that. And I'm going to apply that with my Real Techniques buffing brush, which is my favorite for cream blush. The small stipple brush could work nicely too. So. And I'll definitely try this again and see how this formula layers over powder, because I do typically set my face with powder first, but today I'm going to do it after. Okay, I got a little extra, so I'm just going to try to balance it out. I like that color. All right, that blended pretty easily. I'm going to set my face with my Derma Blend Translucent Loose Powder, and then we will apply the powder highlight. Okay, here we are with my skin all set. Usually it makes my face look a little bit paler, but it didn't this time. I think that this looks good, and I like the way that this looks set. And again, that's not a matte powder or anything. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the pressed highlight and this Morphe M501 brush. I have a couple of different highlighting brushes that I like, but okay, that picked up really easily. Ooh, and I still love a blinding highlight. And this one has a bit of a darker base for my skin tone, but it's very reflective. And what do you guys think? I don't think that that actually looks too dark in the shade. Yeah, I think this is probably like just as deep as I could go, but that looks really pretty. I'm happy with that. Things are working out great so far. I was a little worried about that cream bronzer, but here we are with face all complete. So I'm gonna let my camera cool down for a second and then we'll zoom in for eyes. Okay, so I zoomed this in for the eyes. It's so hard to read the names because it's white lettering on this light packaging. So I'm gonna take the Peachy Shade Plush, and my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH32 and apply this as my transition shade. I'm going to use all of the shades today. And again, this is not a tutorial, it's just a demo. So I always like to do transition first, and then I like to do my lid, but I want to apply a cream shadow base because I always do that. So I feel like if I didn't, I wouldn't be fairly judging the shimmer. So this is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Wild Rose from the Rose Glow collection. I think that this will go nicely with the shimmer in the palette, and that is called Blaze Nude, the shade right here. So I'm going to apply that on my lid with a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH41. These are my daily go-to eye brushes, and they're great quality. Love it. Looks very reflective, and then at the end I will go in with my finger to just re-intensify the shine and pigment. Then I'm going to take this brown Izzy as my crease color with my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH33. And then this last shade, Wink, is actually one of the cream to powder finishes, which I haven't loved so far, but I'm going to try putting this in my outer corner with this MAC 286 Duo Fiber Taper Blending Brush. The numbering has rubbed off. So let's see how this goes. I feel like I just haven't had the best of luck blending these shades. And I was hoping she wasn't going to put them in the mini palettes, but I guess that's a good way for people to really see if they're going to like the formula or not. Okay, that worked all right. So I'm going to take Plush, the peachy color, and just go around the edges again, get in the inner part of my crease. So then I'm going to take the shimmer on my finger. It feels like very creamy and wet, which I like. And it looks, look at the difference. I always go back in. It almost feels wet. Did I say that already? Kind of makes me think of the shades in the Glam face palettes. So pretty. And usually I clean up with a matte cream shade, but I did not bring one of those over here, so I'm just going to use my setting powder and this ColourPop blending brush they don't make anymore, and just clean up the edge to create a wing shape, because I feel like that's most flattering on me. And I didn't put any under eye concealer on today, so if you're noticing anything, there's no fallout. So because, like I said, I'm going to use all the shades, I'm going to take the darkest brown, Bruno, which is like a warm brown, and I'm going to take it on this flat definer brush from Alamar Cosmetics and run right against the lower lash line. I go about 2/3 of the way in. Like that. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M508 smudger brush, and we'll see how it works with the cream to powder color, which is Wink. just to blend it a little bit. I always do this. Maybe, did I do something? I don't know. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. I like those shades, and the cream to powder did end up working pretty well. So carefully, let's try to not get this all over my eyeshadow. The Rare Beauty Volumizing Mascara. Here's what the wand looks like. Doesn't seem to be overly wet formula. Natural bristle brush, as you can see. So I'm gonna paint the backs of my lashes. And then carefully wiggling through. I know that this was included in the Sephora mascara sale, I guess a couple months ago at this point. My friend Jean got it and loved it. And I know sometimes, like more with mascaras than any other sample size product, that the formulas can be really different in the minis versus the full size for some reason, or maybe just our experience with the mascara is different. So that's just one coat, and I didn't even like do any extra playing around. Okay, that looks good. I honestly don't usually do 2 coats, but I do often layer mascaras, but I feel like this gave length and volume. I'm excited to use this more. I quite like it. All right, so I zoomed you out a little bit for the lips. I don't need y'all that close to me. So we're gonna be using the Natasha Denona lip liner and lip gloss in Daphne. And I'm just gonna use my little mirror down here. I will swatch the products on my hand for you. The lip liner is fully opaque, very creamy. And the gloss, when I swatched it in store, felt super smooth and more of a medium opacity, which I really like. So I think those are like really pretty, like warm pink neutral. Cal is more brown, Peony's a little bit more pastel. So I feel like this is just gonna be perfect for me. So we'll see. So starting with the lip liner, which is a lip liner that you sharpen, but it's like a very creamy formula. It's not dry, which I love. I was gonna say at least based on the swatch, but yes, that's how it feels on the lips. It reminds me of Kylie, ColourPop, Persona. And then I'm not gonna fill in all the way. I'm just gonna fill in the corners. In the middle, just make the line a little thicker. But that was so easy. No tugging, but it also didn't slip slide too much. Perfect formula for me. Then going with the gloss, and it does have that flat paddle applicator, which is my favorite. Light vanilla scent. Like MAC, but a little bit better. I just don't love the MAC scent, but this is perfect. This is so pretty. This is a really great, more neutral color for spring. And not sticky whatsoever, super smooth. Not slippery though, not thin, not sticky, not thick. Wow, this is a good formula. I didn't want to not like these, but I also didn't want to love them. That's good, y'all. I really like that. Okay, guys, this was my final look using all of the products I got from Rare Beauty and Natasha Denona in my Sephora VIB sale for spring. So I'll just show you the products again really quickly. The Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer, the Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer, the bronzer stick in the second shade Happy Soul, the Rare Beauty Volumizing Mascara, Natasha Denona Rose Cheek Duo Mini Biba palette, and then the I Need a Rose lip liner and lip gloss in Daphne. And I like everything. I was initially very worried about the Rare Beauty bronzer stick, but I actually think the color ended up working well. I'm going to keep playing with it a little bit more to make sure I still feel that way. I am happy with the way my skin looks, even though I do have light coverage on. I feel like after I got my powder and the rest of my products, it still looks very pretty. I'm excited to see how this is going to wear, but I love my full coverage foundation. But because of being back to work more, still wearing masks, I think I'm going to be using powder foundation a lot, which I've been doing recently, but I think even tinted moisturizers I'm going to get into a little bit more this year. So I am filming this at 9 o'clock at night, so I'm going to test these things out on separate days to get the wear time review for you guys, because I think that's very important. So happy with everything so far, which is really exciting. That doesn't often happen to me, so very good. And I would love to hear your thoughts if you guys try these products. I would love to know what you picked up during the sale, and please stay tuned because I will have 2 more videos featuring the products that I picked up.